So settling our bodies into reclining cobblers on the blocks in a T on the higher sides of the blocks or the lower sides of the blocks. And as you come onto them, have the knees bent with the feet on the floor and arrange your spine so about mid-spine comes onto the block, kind of between the shoulder blades, and then the head is caught by the second one. And you can move it around as is best for you. Let the arms open, palms up, feet together, knees out. You could support the legs with a blanket rolled up around the shins or under the thighs. And again, if you're more comfortable to lie flat on the floor, you can do that. And just let the knees open to the side. So take a few moments to just allow the body to settle. And at first, this can sometimes feel a little bit sharp into the spine and the flesh around it. And spend whatever amount of adjusting time that you need to be comfortable. Because you want to feel like your body is draping over the blocks, hanging like a garment of clothing over a hanger in your closet. That the body is just draping over the blocks, kind of melting towards the floor, opening from the center out, from the center line, the spinal column line. And as you make your adjustments, find a place to come to stillness. You might want to move the hips a little away from the blocks. You might want to move the feet a little away from the hips. There are many ways to find your perfect place here in this reclining cobbler's position, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then once you feel like you have your body where it feels as good as it can, just let it settle and let the weight of your body yield to gravity and become comfortable on the props. And then gently scan from the crown of your head to your toes, just consciously connecting, consciously relaxing, starting with the face and head, your eyes and your mouth. And then gently moving awareness into your neck and throat and shoulders. And then awareness to your upper chest and upper back, relaxing, consciously connecting, consciously relaxing. And then come into your heart center and the rib cage area. And then awareness moving into the waist, the low belly, and the low back area. Gently observing, bringing presence and relaxation. And then awareness to your hips and the pelvic floor. And see how soft you can get the pelvic floor. And then awareness moving down the legs, through the upper legs, the knees, the lower legs, feet, and toes. And just being aware of your whole body from your toes to the crown of your head to your fingertips. And gathering all of your self here into the moment and space you occupy. And just being aware of your whole body here in this pose, in this moment, and your breath flowing. And bringing awareness to the breath at the nostril tips and taking the breath in your favorite way of breathing yogically, getting the breath smooth and even and steady and deep and full. Feeling the air come in, it nourishes you. And as you exhale, the breath has a mechanism of clearing and releasing. And then for a few more breaths, let's regulate the breath into a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. As best you can, keeping the breath flowing smooth and steady. And like musicians, metronome, very steady tempo, 4-count inhale, 6-count exhale. Keeping all your awareness and attention on the breath, letting all the days and the previous week's activities and impressions be released, kind of vanish out of your awareness, and just being present here with your body and your breath. A few more breaths, 4-count inhale, 6-count exhale. Relaxing as much as you can. And do 2 more rounds from wherever you are, and then come into a comfortable, natural breathing pattern. So just 2 more 4-count, 6-count breaths from wherever you are, and then breathe normally in whatever way occurs naturally for you. And let's do the face massage, taking the first flange of your thumbs and sweeping across from the center of the forehead to the temples, applying enough pressure to massage and churn or stimulate, but with mindfulness and care. And then the same process from either side of the nostrils, sweeping across the cheekbones, maybe wipe or wash over your ears. This gives a nice massage to the sinuses. And next, the heel of the hand from the center of the chin along the jawline, whirl over the jaw joint. It also stimulates collagen in your skin. And then the thumb pad and the upper eye socket rim, sweeping from the inner to the outer corner. No pressure on the eyeball, just a gentle sweeping motion. And then the same process in the lower eye socket rim with the pointer finger pad from the inner to the outer corner, sweeping across. And shake the hands out. And let's do a few of the tapping energy exercises. So coming to the point just below the inner collarbone, gently thumping with your tips of your fingers. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Once more. And move to the second point over the thymus, the middle of the upper chest, and bring your other hand onto your navel center. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth 3 times. And then the middle of the front rib cage area, same process, gently thumping. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth 3 times. And one more point. The side body at the bottom of the rib cage, just before the waist, gently thumping 3 breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Then shake the hands out and bring your left hand over your navel center and think of your belly as a clock with 12 o'clock at the breastbone and 6 o'clock at the pubic bone. Bring the right hand on top of the left hand and circle, make big circles, the whole expanse of your belly in a clockwise direction. And you can apply a little bit of pressure, gently massaging all your viscera, this whole area of your abdominal organs, most of them, the digestive system, the reproductive system, a little bit of the lungs there. Nice big circles with a gentle pressure. And then change direction. And then big sweeping motions with each hand alternating from the breastbone to the pubic bone. Kind of a motion and a gesture of releasing. Just like the exhale is a motion and a gesture of emptying, clearing, and releasing. Then shake the hands out and bring the arms off the shoulders, reaching wide to either side of the room. And on an exhale, give yourself a hug across the chest. Take hold of the shoulders, pull down on them, ground the shoulders into the chest a little bit. And just take a few breaths there. And then on an inhale, open the arms and exhale, cross the opposite elbow over the top. Pull down on the shoulder blades, ground the elbows into your chest and take a few breaths there like that. And then release the hands and open them out wide once again. And float the hands up over the shoulders, fingertips coming towards the ceiling. And let the elbows be soft, let the wrists be soft, let the fingers be soft, let the shoulder blades drop back, almost hugging the block back there, or dropping into the mat if you're lying down flat. And then let's interlace the hands and press the palms and fingers to the ceiling, straightening the elbows out. And then release this slowly overhead to whatever point feels good for you. Really feel the underarms stretching, broadening, widening, the rib cage expands, the side body, the waist, the belly skin. Pressing the hands with the fingers interlaced to the wall opposite your head. Lengthening, straighten the elbows as best you can. And then change the cross of the fingers, the interlacing of the fingers. And hold the arms out there another few breaths. And then release the hands and bring them to the outsides of the thighs and gently guide the knees to the ceiling with the feet flat on the floor. And let the hands just rest a comfortable distance from the body, palms up. And just take a few breaths now, allowing the body a moment to pause and absorb the whole upper chest or underarm area and the hips and groins, now getting a flooding of lymph and blood and refreshed, renewed energies. Clearing out stagnation, used up energies. And then carefully, slowly roll off to one side and place the blocks alongside your mat and come onto a flat back with the knees bent with a little space behind the knee. Have the elbows bent a little bit, fingertips pointing to the wall opposite your head. And just do a pelvic tilt. So you're going to flatten out the low back, draw the pubic bone towards the belly button without lifting off the mat. And then send the pubic bone towards the heels, exaggerating the arch in the low back, the lumbar curve. Just a few times, gently letting the pelvis rock and tilt. Feeling the massage to the whole pelvic bowl, front and back, and the waist stretching and crunching alternately with the movement of the hips and the front and the back. And then rest. And now lift the hips off the floor barely and swing them side to side, even with your buttocks brushing the mat. So the pelvic bowl is now like a hammock swinging side to side. And then lay back down in the middle. And now you're going to gently lift the pelvis by kind of drawing the pelvis towards the heels and sweeping up towards the knees and then curling towards the chest and lowering. So it's kind of like a pelvic shovel. Think of it as shoveling towards the heels, coming up towards the knees, curling the pubic bone in and slowly lowering down from the middle back to the sacrum. So do that a few times. And the next time you lift up and bring the hands now with the fingers pointing towards the feet, palms up. And then lower down, trying to keep the front of the pelvis level, rocking the hips side to side. And go slow until you lower down. And then lift, trying to achieve the same position, rocking the hips side to side, but keeping the pelvis, the front of the pelvic panel level as best you can do. And then lowering the same way. You don't have to swing far and wide left and right. It's more about trying to keep the front of the pelvis even, flat with the ceiling. A couple of more, just noticing what you feel in your hips and your lumbar and your belly and your mind. And then next time you lower, pause there. Once again, bring the arms, palms up off the shoulders. And rock the knees to the right. Just let them drop. And then slowly bring them through center and let the knees drop to the left. So go side to side a few times, rolling over the whole sole of the foot from the inner to the outer edges of both feet. And the knees coming up and then gently letting them drop to the side. So using as little effort as necessary to move the knees until they get to the point where the weight and gravity takes them over. And there's no effort, they just kind of drop. A couple of these, and then feel the difference in how this feels in the pelvis and belly and waist to those other movements that are similar but in different positionings. Do one more to each side and then come to center. And now let's hug the knees into the chest once you get to center and rock side to side, massaging your back body a little bit. And then pause in the middle, engage your pelvic floor, engage your belly, and lift your shoulders and your head towards your knees and draw the knees in, curling up into a tight ball, lying down here. And now hold on to the right knee and release the left foot with the leg straight, either floating it or you can bring it to the floor. And then switch and switch. So keep going a few times. You can lay the head down if you need to, if you need less, or if you'd like more, you can bring the hands behind the head and bring the opposite elbow across to the knee that's coming in. Moving very mindfully, paying attention, moving at a pace that's comfortable for you. It's good core work. It'll start to warm you up. It'll let you know very quickly where you need to perhaps do a little bit more yoga. And then straighten the legs out, reach the arms up overhead, point, flex the feet a few times. Roll the ankles around in each direction a few times. And then bring the hands flat, flex the feet, engage the pelvic floor, engage your belly, and lift your head and look at your toes. Now see if you can lift the right leg up about a foot, swing it out to the right, bring it to center and lower. Lift the left leg up, swing it out to the left, bring it to center and lower. So you can keep going, either keeping the head up, or you can lay the head down, keep the belly and the pelvic floor engaged, whatever feels good for you, or you can support the head, which actually gives a little bit more weight into the belly muscles with the arms up in the air. One more each side, and then lower down. And bend the knees and take hold behind the knees, taking the knees wide, or you can hold on to the shins, ankles, or feet for whatever version of happy baby pose is good for you. Pressing the legs into the arms or hands and resisting with the arms and hands. The whole back body is grounded. The groins and hips are opening wide. Your face is soft, the neck and shoulders are neutral. Belly rise up between the thighs on the inhale and gently relaxes back into your abdominal cavity on the exhale. Now let's bring the soles of the feet together, push the knees away, engage the belly, engage your belly, lift your head and shoulders and look at your feet. Makes the body kind of like a bow and arrow here. And lay your head, neck, and shoulders down, bring the feet to the floor. Let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh into forward stretch, flexing both ankles, draw the knees towards you. And if it's comfortable, rock the legs side to side. And you can let the torso rock as well. Then pause in the middle, engage your pelvic floor, engage your belly, draw the torso towards the legs and the legs towards the torso as best you can. Release the head, neck, and shoulders down. Release the left leg long. Bring the right leg, straighten out the knee, flex the foot towards the ceiling, arms up overhead. And then draw the right leg towards you, flexing both ankles. Left leg is grounding into the mat. Bring the palms to the floor next to your hips and draw the leg towards your head and shoulders as you lift your head and shoulders towards the leg. And then inhale, leg to the floor, arms up overhead. And then again, lift the right leg towards the head and shoulders as you crunch, and then inhale as you lengthen. So do this a few more times mindfully, moving with purpose, paying attention to what you notice, how your body feels. A little bit more core work. 2 more from wherever you are. And then switch legs. Bend the knees, left ankle onto the right thigh, flexing both ankles, draw the legs toward you in 4 stretch. Once you're there, rock side to side if that feels okay for you. And pause in the middle, engage the pelvic floor, engage the belly, lift your head and shoulders towards your legs as you draw your legs in 4 stretch. And release, right leg long, ankle flex, press the back of the right leg into the mat, straighten the left leg out, flexing the ankle. Arms up overhead, exhale, draw the leg and the body together as you lift the head and shoulders, palms next to the hips. Inhale, lengthen, leg to the forearms up overhead. Same movement, second side. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, lengthen. Two more from wherever you are. And then bend the knees, roll over to your side and sit on up. Let's come into tabletop. We'll do a few exercises here in tabletop, starting with cat-cow. Flowing with your breath, aligning the hands, the heels of the hands under the shoulders and knees under the hips. On the inhale, arching. On the exhale, rounding. While you lengthen the spine through both movements. Press the floor away with the base of all 10 fingers. Ground the shins, ankles, and feet. Some people feel more comfortable with the toes turned under. Nice, strong arms. And come to a neutral spine. Bring the right leg back and lift it up with the heel pressing towards the back wall. And only lift it up as far as hip level. And if you want to try for balance cat-cow, you can bring the left arm up and reach for the opposite wall with fingertips. And come back to tabletop and bring the right knee in to the right thumb and walk the left leg back with the toes turned under and find a pigeon. Now, if you need, you can put a block underneath the right hip or buttock to help you have a more comfortable experience of the pose. Press the left heel away. And then release the top of the foot to the floor and come to the forearms. And bring a block under your forehead and rest. Now, if you want more sensation, you bring the right knee out to the right and you bring the shin forward. And walk the left leg back a little further. And then once you find where you're experiencing a bit of a stretch that you can manage, let the forehead rest on the block. The spine is long, shoulders out of the ears. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Supporting on the forearms, the right leg, the left leg, and the forehead. Nice deep breaths. Let each exhale invite you to sink a little bit deeper and soften. And the inhale fill you and expand you. And then gently start to pull yourself up out of this and ground the hands and step back and find a down dog. And once you get there, bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel down. And once again, grounding the feet, lengthening the arms, lengthening the spine, lengthening the legs. Or maybe you can turn the heels to one side and stretch out the hips and legs that way. Whatever feels good for you to do, or just hold still in your downward facing dog if that's what beckons you today. Take 3 more breaths with whatever it is you've selected to experiment here at this part of our class. And come back to tabletop and do some cat and cows. Come to a neutral spine, take the left leg back, press the heel towards the wall behind you. You can bring the left arm a little bit under the body if you want to try for the balance. Left heel is reaching towards the wall behind you, the leg is hip height, and then the right arm is reaching forward, fingertips reaching the opposite side of the head. The wall opposite your head, excuse me, and lengthen the body, lengthen the spine. Push the floor away. Keep your breath flowing. Engage the low belly. Focus. And then bring the left hand down. And just like we did on the other side, bring the right hand down. Just like we did on the other side, bring the left knee forward towards the left thumb, the heel towards the right hip. Turn the toes under on the right leg and reach back through the heel. Keeping your pigeon chest lifted for a breath or 2. And then release the top of the right foot to the mat. Come to your forearms and support your head on your block. And again, if you want more of a stretch, you can bring the left knee a little bit more to the left and bring the shin towards the front of the mat. Nice deep breaths. The inhale, expanding you. Your exhale, softening you. And bring the hands underneath your body, start to lift up and step back into downward facing dog. Either holding or alternating, bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel down, whatever feels good for you here. 3 nice full long breaths. Lengthening the arms, drawing the neck long with the shoulder blades coming in behind the heart and the outer rim of the armpits rolling towards the floor. Lengthening the waist and the spine, belly coming up towards the low back. Legs are active, arms are active. Breath is flowing softly. Now bring your gaze forward and walk the feet forward and hang in a forward bend. So you can have your blocks or a block to support your hands, or the hands can be on the floor. Try to have straight legs with wherever you try to land. And even if the hands are on the hips or the shins, let the spine lengthen. Engage all 4 points of the feet into your mat. Lift the inner edges of the arches and the knees. Spine is draping forward. Bend the knees deep and come to a chair position, wherever that is for you today. Dropping the tailbone and the pubic bone heavily towards the floor, lengthening the torso, lengthening the arms, or the hands can be on the shoulders or hips or cactus arms. Three more breaths. Next exhale, fold forward for forward bend again. 3 breaths there. If you want more sensation, you can walk the hands back behind you, drawing the torso to the legs. If you need less, use support, either the block or the hands on the shins or thighs. Next breath, come back to chair. 3 breaths, aligning, lengthening the body, grounding into the 4 points of the feet, dropping the weight of the pelvis. Next exhale, fold to forward bend. Last time, 3 breaths there. And on an exhale, 1 more chair, Utkatasana. 3 breaths there. Use that core and the earth. On your next exhale, folding forward and walk back to a downward facing dog. And let's hold here for 5 breaths. On your next exhale, come to all fours and come to child's. Support your child's with a block under your head if that feels better for you.
wherever your hand position is most comfortable. Palms up by the feet, or a pillow with the hands with the forehead down, or the elbows bent alongside the body, palms down. And take several breaths in child's pose, Balasana, letting the whole back body round, the breath filling the whole back body on the inhale, and then softening and releasing and emptying on the exhale. And feel your weight surrender to the support of the earth. Now let's come up onto the knees, and we'll do a little back bending sequence with camel. So hands on the hip crest, inhaling, lengthening, and just start to gently take the heart and the rib cage up and back. The hands can be on the low back, fingertips up or down. The hands can be on the thighs. The hands can come to a block between the feet, or they can come to your feet. So find your camel. We'll take several breaths here. The inhale, lifting, lengthening, expanding the heart and the rib cage. The exhale, softening you. Keep pushing the hips forward, lifting through the thighs, grounding through the shins and feet. Gently inhale up, turn the toes under, and roll onto your feet as you round the back. Let the head gently tilt forward. And then let's come to the knees again for a second camel. Heart openers. Back bends are actually openers of the front of the body. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhale, your second camel, whatever hand position you prefer. Taking about 3 breaths there. The head is in a comfortable position, gently tilting back, but not hanging and crunching. Or you can keep your chin towards your chest. Lift the heart. Lengthen the belly and the waist. Ground into the floor with the knees and shins. And come up. Turn the toes under, sit the hips back towards the heels, and round the spine. Roll onto the feet if you can. Tilt the head and the chin down. It's okay to stay on the knees and just round forward. And we'll come up for one last one. 3's a charm. Inhaling, lengthening. Finding your final camel for today. Ustrasana. Nice deep breaths. And gently come out. Once again, turning the toes under, rounding the spine and head down, or rolling onto the feet and curling into a ball. Stretches the feet out a little bit more this way. And then gently come onto your backside. Bend the left knee so the left heel comes towards the right sit bone, and then bend the right knee so the heel is right in front of the left ankle. Take hold of the right shin with the left hand Lift the right arm up and twist to the right. If you can go a little deeper, the left arm can come up and go outside the right thigh. If you can go a little bit deeper, you can wrap the left hand through the back of the right knee and hold hands by your waist. Nice deep breaths. The inhale lengthens the spine. The exhale softens you in the revolve. And gently let the body unwind and come into a Janushirshasana on this side. Right leg is long, left knee is bent, pressing the back of the right leg into the mat and the right heel, flexing the ankle. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, reach out over the leg, bringing your heart towards your toes, finding your place to be, and take several breaths there. Supporting yourself with your hands. Wherever your stretch is, trying to reach with a long spine. And gently come up. Change legs, bend the right knee so the right heel comes just in front of the left hip. Bend the left knee so the left heel is in front of the right ankle. Right hand holding on to the left shin. Inhale the left arm up, revolve to the left, holding there. If you want a little bit more sensation, you can bring the right arm up and bring it outside the left thigh, holding here. Or if you want to take the binding option, the hand goes through underneath the right knee and you hold hands behind your waist. And gently unwind, take the left leg long, flex the heel, ground the heel in the back of the left leg, right knee is bent. That leg can be, the foot can be right into the left thigh or further towards the right groin if you want more stretch. Inhale the arms up, exhale, reach the heart towards beyond the toes and enjoy stretching in your Janushirshasana on your second side. Keeping a long spine as best you can. And gently come up out of that. And slowly, gently release yourself to the floor into Shavasana. Nice straight spine, legs and arms comfortable distance apart. Palms up with the hands. Finding your most comfortable Shavasana position. And then let yourself relax and let go. Relax and let go. Taking these moments now at the end of the yoga practice to rest and restore, to process and absorb and integrate. Let the body be still and relaxed. Let the mind be still and quiet. And let the breath be smooth and silent. Relaxing, relaxing your whole body for a few moments in Shavasana. I feel the breath at your nostril tips. Let it flow in, down to your fingertips and toe tips, maybe wiggling your fingers and toe tips a little bit. And then slowly rolling to one side, and gently and slowly, mindfully and caringly coming to an upright position. And once you're there, let's bring the hands to the heart and we'll chant the Om Shanti 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 together, gathering the energies of yourself here at your heart center, offering this Namaste Anjali Mudra, a gesture of peace and honoring and gratitude and acknowledgement of our gathering together in the sacred space of yoga, heart, minds, bodies, and spirits in community for our higher good and the greater good. Now take a nice deep inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Om Namaste. Thank you.